What's going on, everybody? Pop-O-Matic Trouble 84 here. Yeah, so I went through the trouble of doing that Hello Kitty pink console review, and I did not go straight to Hello Kitty games. So briefly in that video, we were talking about, I believe, Hello Kitty Garden Panic. Yeah, that's the one. And it's just a Battleship clone. You know, the game Battleship? That's why I said Pop-O-Matic Trouble. And plus I'm running out of ideas of consoles to just kind of, talk about, or just bring into consciousness. It's kind of a joke, but it's kind of a failed joke. But, yeah, whatever. I was thinking, like, Xbox One 84 here, but I didn't like that Xbox One reveal, but that's beside the point. This is Hello Kitty Garden Panic, and I was trying to come up with games that would be extremely short to do, and I'm keeping in line with the NTSC games, so I'm going to work on the other one that's in order. So, we're keeping in order with the NTSC games, of course, and I'm really proud of myself for that PAL Shenmue 2, so, it feels good to just kind of get past a couple hurdles. Plus, it was a fairly respectable review. What was it, 47 minutes? Got my Star Trek mug here, but, yeah, this is a little girl's game. It's just a very simple game. There's not really much to this one. This is just kind of a throwaway game, and I think that like those Barbie games for the PS1, Jason Steele has been doing like game streams, and I've been watching here and there, and he's been doing like Harry Potter games and Barbie games and stuff like that. One of them was like a Nancy Drew game or something like that, but he plays some ratchet games, like some really bad throwaway games just to laugh at them. And this is one to check out just to laugh at. But in my Hello Kitty review, I just pretty much alluded to the fact that this is just a Battleship clone. And I remember just kind of playing it. When I first got this, I actually played a few rounds and enjoyed it. I enjoy this game for what it's worth, because it's Battleship, and Battleship is cool. I get in the mood to play board games from time to time, and I just don't have anybody to play with, and, I don't know, playing Battleship, that's glossed over and looked like it's got little Hello Kitty on it. I never really understood Hello Kitty. Like, she has no mouth, and she's technically not a cat. I don't get it. Hello Kitty is stupid. I was dogging on Hello Kitty with the Hello Kitty Dreamcast review, but, as a Dreamcast collector, these games are relatively cheap, and if you got to go for a good set, you might as well go with the one with the keyboard and a VMU included. It's got good value to it, but I don't know, man. Snatch up that Regulation 7 console if you can, because it's got a broadband adapter with it. That's why the prices are so steep with it. Plus, it's black and it looks nice. But, yeah, just talking on it. Oh, I wanted to share one other thing. I ordered some Xbox original games, and I got this one today, and I'm super excited to play it. It is Evil Dead Fistful of Boomstick. I really enjoyed playing this game when I was younger, and I can't wait to revisit this one. THQ, I believe they did a myriad of games, but Evil Dead Fistful of Boomsticks. I think there was another one for the Xbox original, but I'm not familiar with that one. There's one for the Dreamcast that we've already reviewed, but it's not good. It's really not. I couldn't get far into this one. This one I've beat before, and I've really enjoyed it. And I remember watching the original Evil Dead movie on a projector that I used to have. It was my father's projector, and I used to hook up the component cables to it and play Atari. Like, you remember those little plug-and-play Atari? Like, it's the joystick with the component cables hooked up to it. You had to put, like, 4 AA batteries in it. I have fond memories of just playing some old-school Pong and Adventure and Breakout or whatever, just some of those Atari games, and just playing that on on a projector on like a white sheet that you put on the wall. I did that at scout camp, and I got fond memories of doing that in the health lodge. People would leave to go home during the weekends, but I'd stay and then bum out in the health lodge because they trusted me with the key because I was teaching emergency preparedness and communications and first aid. Good times, man. I took the kids out into the woods and used a walking stick and made them use the walking stick. Like I had 2 walking sticks and made them make a stretcher out of it and stuff, man. I tried to make it fun, you know, not just staying in the health lodge just looking at it. Here I am talking about my work history. That was my first job that I ever had, working for summer camp. It's awesome, man. I love that kind of stuff. But this game brings me the warm and fuzzies, man, because I have a soft spot in my heart for the Xbox original. I've said before that this is the spiritual successor to the Dreamcast. It's the Dreamcast 2, essentially. This is where it's at. It's like the Ghostbusters movie. There was never a Ghostbusters 3, but there was a 360 game that I want to track down because I had a friend steal it from me. He borrowed it and then never gave it back. But it was the Ghostbusters game on 360 where the original characters and the original voice actors, and it's pretty much the closest thing that you're going to get to the real Ghostbusters 3. So, I don't know. I'm a fan of like little obscure and lesser known and, you know, fan favorite type stuff. And I don't know. Warm and fuzzies galore, man. But yeah, this game. What does it have to do with Hello Kitty? Nothing. But yeah. Here it is, Hello Kitty Garden Panic. Yeah, Garden Panic. I'm not 100% what the game is called, but yeah.
There does not seem to be any sort of opening cinematic in sight, so we have that going on. Alright. Main game here. I am assuming that this is Hello Kitty's mother. Now, if Hello Kitty is not a cat, now Sanrio announced that Hello Kitty is not a cat. So, how can Japan get any weirder? I mean, what else is Hello Kitty? And plus, how do they talk? Do they talk through ESP because they don't have mouths? Seems kind of lazy to me. They don't want to animate. I was looking at pictures of Hello Kitty. I forgot what I searched for exactly, but there was a picture of Garfield, and he was just proudly proclaiming that he's a cat. He's always been like, hey, I'm a cat. So props for Garfield for being an OG. Look at these worms. I guess Hello Kitty has worms. Do all 4-legged animals, or all animals in general, I guess we all have parasites, don't we? It's kind of unavoidable. Let's just hope that your stomach acid is strong enough to kill enough parasites. Or drink apple cider vinegar. That's good for that kind of stuff. And Candida cleanse and stuff like that. I remember playing this briefly, and this is like the home, and you don't want to go home because the stages aren't there. So apparently you are just restricted to this one little garden area. This game is entitled Garden Panic. There's a little water fountain to the lower right hand corner. There's a little flower garden. There's multiple flower gardens. So Hello Kitty has a frog friend. I know this because I've seen little frog stuff, and I was like, what is that frog thing? Is it its own thing? No, it's in the Hello Kitty universe. So Hello Kitty has bunny friends, frog friends, and I would imagine, yeah, I think there's a penguin guy, right? Oh, you're just selecting the pieces that you want. You want big pieces, right? Guess I'll take them all. Hello Kitty. And yeah, I was kind of struggling trying to figure out how to do this, but I guess I'm laying down my own grid pattern. And you're doing this in order to eliminate where the worms are, trying to figure out where they are, or something to that effect. I'm not sure exactly. There's absolutely no rhythm or reason to this insanity. What is it about Hello Kitty that captures the imaginations of little girls everywhere? Because I feel like females are just kind of vacuous and they enjoy cats with no personality, because I think girls just like cats in general. I got a little bit of a tactic. I'm trying to just kind of surround the, it's like playing Battleship. I mean, I don't really have to explain it. You just kind of look. I guess I'll show you one round, and then after that, a different stage, I guess. But we're not going to get too serious about this because, hey, it's Hello Kitty Garden Panic. It's pretty cool for what it is, and it's good to pop into your system every now and then. Huh, okay, let's just... There we go. Yeah, I don't want this review to just be me with long stretches just not really saying much, because I don't really have much to say. So I'm thinking about just pausing this video and then letting you see what the later portion looks like when you are just about to be the victor. I don't know, maybe the worms will win. Yeah, this is just kind of boring. I just kind of restarted the video just because I didn't want my tablet to just let go of this current little video segment, because I have to do this at 5 minutes at a time. I'm just kind of like letting my mind wander. I'm just thinking about how females are just so much work, and I'm thinking about my first girlfriend and what I've had to do, and I think I saw a video about Karama MGTOW about how with pickup artistry you have to just act like you're disinterested in women in order to get them to be interested in you. You have to be kind of aloof and like wait for them to seem like they like you before you know what I mean? You have to like act like you don't. You have to be kind of deceptive yourself in order to get what you really want. And I totally did that. And I met my first girlfriend in art class, and it was in, I want to say freshman year. No, I might have been sophomore. Freshman or sophomore. And I don't know, it's like my girlfriend, like it was her and one of her friends, and they were kind of like a little group, and they kind of stayed in the corner of the art class, and I would just approach them and be super positive and stuff, and just doing what I can to, I don't know, I felt very confident those years. My early freshman, sophomore years was pretty good, but yeah, those are choices I made, just like Quartz Crystal was saying, man, just these are choices you make. I didn't finish that video yet, but yeah. Isn't it weird how sometimes you just subscribe to a bunch of channels and then you don't get good videos on your feeds, it seems like, because the videos just don't seem like they're really good. But then you might come across a day or two where it's just like, man, this is a bunch of awesome, like, mind-bending content. Or just the same stuff you already know, just rephrased in different ways, but they're still compelling, So yeah, this is a little bit tedious, you know what I mean? It's not an intriguing game like Shenmue 2, Yeah, this is just a simple game of elimination, and it's a really good game to give to your child, you know? You know, if you have a little girl, you know, at least give her video games, right? If you have a little girl, I feel bad for you, man, because I feel like you can't really do anything to mold them and make them like a good, decent person. I don't know if that, because I don't know, I feel like society just kind of, you know, gets their grips on women and turns them all bad. I don't know. I think that we can all agree that women with strong male father figures are a little bit less crappy than the rest of them. Let's try this. It's just Battleship. Battleship with worms. And the Rumble Pack rumbles whenever you get a worm. I saw this one thing, I forgot where, if it was on, I think it was Netflix, it was some weird factual show, and it was about this guy that went worming, and he would take a piece of wood or something, and he would rub a piece of stone against the wood or something. Oh, I don't know why I just did that. Yeah, you can go over pieces that you already did, but he would rub this, he would make vibrations on the Earth's surface. He'd bring his wife with him, and they called it worming, and worms would come up to the surface. And I think that the way that they explained it was that they made vibrations in the soil that made the worms think that there was moles and stuff in the area, so it scared the worms to brought them to the surface, so the moles wouldn't eat them, which makes sense. Yeah, there we go. We got two of them. Kind of a boring game to show off, right? Just not really much happening, but I guess this game is interesting as much as Connect 4 or any of those other games are. Do you guys remember Pop-O-Matic? Not Pop-O-Matic, but Perfection? I just remember that, you know, put the pieces into the slot, make the right connection. But be quick, you're racing the clock. Pop goes perfection. And the commercial had this really weird guy just kind of yelling at you. The 90s. What a weird, wonderful, and wacky time. And I was kind of talking about gross out humor. Yeah, and that's why I like Trauma so much, because it's the ultimate in gross out, but it still has like this innocent quality to it. Like Toxic Avenger 4 just is, starts off with like a Columbine shooting type thing with, let's just say mentally challenged people. They make retard jokes, let's just say that. And I feel guilty laughing at that kind of stuff, but it raised my vibrations. It totally, it's hilarious. Trying to look at funny YouTube stuff, just trying to laugh at dumb stuff, but I'm kind of having a hard time. I'm stuck on that Wilford Brimley diabetes type stuff, and I don't understand the psychology of laughing about diabetes, but it's funny. I can't describe why. So this is just elimination the game, gradualism and elimination the game. Oh, I'm glad I started my little video yet again, because I think I won that round. Now this game's not too terribly long at all, and all of the stages are pretty much the same. Yeah, but just as I promised, I guess you have to go back to your house to talk to your mom or something. For some reason you can't select any other places in the map, which is confusing. And are you guys familiar with transvestigations? Now, I was at Big Lots like a week ago or something like that, and that's where I picked up the Married with Children DVD. And I told you guys that I was crushing on Katie Seagal, you know, Peggy Bundy. And, you know, I've seen videos about how, you know, Christina Applegate and Katie Seagal are both transgendered. And I totally believe it, because, you know, that show was very subversive. It was on Fox. It was about demoralizing and deconstructing the nuclear family. Did I say that right? Nuclear family. And Satanists are all about subverting gender roles. And I think that Peggy Bundy, Katie Seagal, was just like a really well-played transgender, because very square jaw, very wide shoulders. You know, if you didn't know this at the time, it kind of messes up your sexuality, because I was forming, you know, what I like in women at the time, and I liked Peggy Bundy a whole lot, and I was just psychoanalyzing myself with the Project Justice. I was really liking the volleyball chick, and like she kind of looked like she was kind of muscular and just kind of, you know, butch, I guess. I had an ex-girlfriend with a square jaw, and she was very insecure about it. She's like, I got a man jaw, and I'm like, dude, baby, it's cool, you know. And I guess in a world where you brainwash people into thinking that masculine is feminine, I don't know. There are naturally masculine-looking women in the wild that are just born that way, and there's nothing wrong with that, I don't think, you know. But at the end of the day, men and women are just intrinsically different anyway. But yeah, I mean, that's just part of the reason why I guess men and women hate each other, because like I guess men and women don't really understand what men and women are, because what they know from men and women on the media is just incorrect completely. I think I just agreed to that subset of columns, just that whole array. But yeah, isn't that weird how we grew up being sold a wrong set of values, just an incorrect view of the world? Because it lets your guard down. The characters are very positive, they're always smiling, but they're saying negative things at the same time. That screams agenda, because when I go to the gym, I will come across songs that are, you know, very upbeat and positive music, you know, upbeat, you know, drums, just kind of high vibration that way, but the lyrics are about breaking up and it, you know, going your own way. Like there was some sort of weird, like, female, like her going her own way or whatever. Just a form of gaslighting. It's men who came up with going their own way first, lady. But yeah, this is Hello Kitty Garden Panic, and yeah, you know, we're talking about things here. We're just kind of psychoanalyzing transvestigations. I recommend looking into it. That stuff's some mind-bending stuff. I used to look at John Humanity's YouTube channel, and he hasn't been posting as much later. He sounds very effeminate in his voice. I'm always like, is that guy gay? But he swears up and down he's not. But it doesn't matter if anybody's gay or straight or man or woman or anything. As long as their information is intriguing and factual, that's what matters to me. It's eating the meat and spitting out the bones. That's the analogy. I don't recommend eating meat, by the way, because I've been abstaining, and I think that it's been doing me a whole lot of benefit. But yeah, we're always talking about the world here. Let's fix all of the world's problems here on Dreamcast 84's channel, right? So what do we give this game? This is just a Battleship clone, like I'm saying. Let's just put it this way: Hello Kitty's got worms, and it's about time we take her to the vet and put her down. And yeah, like I said, this is good for kids. It's one of the more import-friendly Dreamcast games, so like I'm leaning on a 5 for starters, and then I think a 6 is sufficient. It's Battleship, and it's playable, so I want to give it a 7.5, and I'm not going to give it an 8 because it's Hello Kitty. And yeah, there's just something soulless about Hello Kitty. I've explained this to you before, but we got to talk about the Hello Kitty games because we got them. So yeah, what did I say, 7.5? Yeah, do I recommend? You know what, I'm just going to stay silent about it. I'm not going to recommend or not recommend. You know what, I'm going to let the world find out about Hello Kitty for themselves. How about that? 7.5. Alright guys, thanks for watching.